Yeah, we tend to do in the top 1% of the 60 million of the Australian market.
Australia?
Yeah, huge in Australia, man. This is the number one farming podcast in Australia.
Number one.
Number one. Can I get a mic check there, Fisher?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hi. Fisher. Welcome back, man.
Great to be here. Are we on?
Supposedly.
Oh.
Although we've done this once before.
Yeah.
That time
but the recording button is red.
So far, so good, man.
Good.
You just gotta make sure, because last time I did record a whole minute of it. The first minute is still salvaged.
We got the first minute.
Yeah. Michael John.
Good to see you, buddy.
Special guest, Michael John. Leaving now. Would you like to say a word, sir?
Be grateful.
Okay. We got
All
it.
right.
That's
Let's,
a good word.
Thanks, man. I love you. Make sure you close those doors, okay? Yeah, thank you.
So,
Fisher. I've been hearing rumors about you, man.
talk to me.
I've heard so many rumors about you.
Talk to me.
I heard... So I want to start with the rumor that I find the hardest to believe.
Uh-huh.
I heard a rumor spread on social media
Yeah.
that you are a man who reads books. Is this true?
I do read some books, yes, sir. I do.
Would you care to elaborate on this, sir?
Well, I mean, I just went through this really long kick of trying to figure out, like who I was and like internally who I was. And, I went on this, I watch a ton of videos online.
Yeah?
And, of course, like YouTube. I love the YouTube.
Can I get one strong recommendation? Like a nice beginner.
Anything. There's a guy that his name is Ray Dalio.
Ray Dalio?
Yeah, and he's a hedge fund manager, and he runs this company called Bridgewater out of Connecticut. And he has a very good book called Principles, but he is also an extremely smart individual. And he talks a lot about thoughtful disagreement and radical truth, which is, I think, something that is missing in a lot of culture today.
What's thoughtful disagreement?
Well, thoughtful disagreement would be, me and you sitting here having a conversation, and you may
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
we sit here talking.
and I may say to you, I don't like that you smoke weed. And you say, well, that's okay, I like it, and be okay with that. Otherwise, hypothetically. And so as opposed to today's kind of like outrage culture about like, oh, you say this and that, and then everyone blows up, and we really
I disagree
get nowhere.
with you, and you're evil.
Yes.
Hey, you know what really bothers me?
What's that?
Things that you do when I'm not around.
I appreciate
That like really upsets me, man.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. I'll try to do better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, I've been thinking about doing better, and I think I'm done with that shit.
Yeah.
I kind of think I'm like the best like anyone's ever been.
You are?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
In general?
Yeah, in like all the ways.
In every way?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So like that's why we have you here. This is more of a sales pitch than anything. I have
So you can tell me that you're better at everything than me.
So you are a human who's not me. So yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's really the reason we're here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I just want that to sink in. We
believe
really
you.
could wrap it up now if you.
I believe you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Fisher, I haven't rolled with you in a long time, man. I miss you.
I know.
It's been a while.
I took a little break, but I came back, and I feel like I haven't taken a break at all, to be honest with you.
Oh, you went right back in?
Yeah, I went right back in. I mean,
how long have you been back now?
6 or 7 classes, maybe I've been back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I've had a lot of a lot of people ask me, like, well, why I hadn't been around, a lot of the, upper belts. And the only way that I can explain it is my ego got the best of me.
Really?
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is one of those things that it kind of just pulls it out of you.
Everyone, yeah.
And there's no way to, you can't run from it. It just happens. And I became obsessed with it, obsessed with jiu-jitsu. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But,
I mean, there can be.
What happened was that, I got put into these roles, and I asked to be put into these roles of teaching. And
where were you teaching?
I was teaching at Buena Park.
Cool.
And what ended up happening was two things happened. For those of you listening that have not been a coach or want to be a coach in jiu-jitsu, when you start coaching jiu-jitsu, your jiu-jitsu gets way better. But also, everybody else that you roll with goes like 110% on you to try to prove themselves, that they're worthy of whatever it is they're trying to be worthy of.
Yep.
And what kind of counteracted that in my head was that my ego got real big, and I couldn't let anybody tap me. I couldn't let anybody get the best of me.
So how long was that process? Like, you weren't always like that, right?
No, I was never like that.
And then you started teaching, and then it began?
It
Like,
started,
measurably?
yeah. Well, I think like when it started to really begin right when I got promoted to purple.
Ooh.
And that's when I really could notice a lot of folks like really going hard at me.
I've noticed that as well.
And I think that overall it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
And but it's a good thing. Like, I can go in there now, and if someone taps me, they fucking tap me, and it's okay.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be perfect at it. What I got lost is I was trying to be perfect. And my thinking got the best of me. So I had to take a break, and that was part of it. And then there was another part of it where, I really wanted, I still, in a lot of ways, legitimately want to open up jiu-jitsu gyms.
Really?
And
what a crazy idea.
yeah, I know. And because I just love it. I mean, there's nothing, even I took a 6-month break, and even during that break, every single day I thought about it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I just stopped and then it was gone. It was there.
Did you do mental reps? Did you go through?
I would see things like, I would watch some things online and be like, damn, that's fucking cool. And I'd visualize it in my head. But nothing mental reps. There's, like one thing I learned really early on from Andrew Ram was that it has a lot to do with moving your body. And it's just not knowing, where to put your hands or where to put your feet or how to get to a certain position. It's all in how you can move. And mental reps are a good thing if you can move. If you can't move, the mental rep is kind of useless to me, in my opinion. But anyway, I wanted to open up these gyms, and I saw like all these people that I looked up to at the gym, and basically they lived like this really minimalistic lifestyle. And I've always, since I was a kid, always had a really problem growing up with with money. Like money has always been a big thing to me.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Alabama in a town called Mountain Brook. And it was, like a wealthy, privileged kid town. And so I grew up with, family members and everyone around me, always talking about, where's your kid go to school? What kind of car you drive? Where's your house? How big's your fucking, all this shit. So ever since I was little, this idea that you need to be rich was really it wasn't ground into me by them, but through their examples.
Yeah.
It kind of, in my psyche got ground in, and I saw these people that lived this really minimalistic way, and I wasn't down with that. And so,
You're not about to go sleep in your car.
yeah, I'm not going to sleep in my car, and I'm not going to, and I don't want to, bring beanie weenies home and ramen and, to my wife and shit. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. And so I got really turned off by the idea of making jiu-jitsu into like a career.
Yeah, it's not very profitable.
Yeah.
You won't make a
So-
lot of money.
No,
But there's
no.
other benefits.
There are definitely other benefits, and I think that long term, you most certainly can make money doing it on the
Definitely.
business end of it, not in the. I've never been a successful jiu-jitsu competitor, but I know that there's not a ton of money in competing in jiu-jitsu, but there's a ton of money in the schools, and if you
Apparel.
can get apparel
Accessories.
and all that, if you can
Food.
if you can get money to start your gyms and make your gym successful, it's a really good venture. Just like Casey did, just like Casey has been doing.
Yeah. Is Casey your jiu-jitsu role model?
I look up to Casey in a lot of ways. It's awesome that he's been able to have the life that he has
Yeah.
through jiu-jitsu is insane.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot. I look up to that in a lot of ways.
He's definitely like the most impressive like jiu-jitsu businessman that I personally know.
Yeah,
Like I've met a lot of people through jiu-jitsu. I know people who own gyms here, there, San Diego, Taiwan. I know a bunch of guys who just like moved to Taiwan and open up gyms. I've seen it all around, and Casey's definitely like the biggest hustler, the biggest like
yeah.
do it right and do it and just work harder, which
Yeah.
is like not me at all. But I see a lot of that in you.
Yeah, I
I,
have a little bit
I
of that.
imagine you. I imagine you got up pretty early today.
Yeah.
What time did you get up today?
I was out of bed at 7, but normally I'm up and out of bed at 6.
That is absolutely mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
So that's been me in the past. I've definitely walked that path. But today, I got called into 10th Planet Costa Mesa
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock. We're supposed to be there. Ian McCall wanted some training.
Yeah.
And so I set my alarm for 9 a.m. and it's so brutal. Because, like, you don't know this, man, but, like, for the past 6 months, I've been working at Sharky's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was working at Sharky's in Newport. And it was brutal, man. So, like, I've been nocturnal for that long.
Okay.
So that's why, like I used to be a morning person. Before that, I was, like, waking up early and, like, really liking it. And now, for the past 6 months, I've been going to bed with the sun. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
No, it's terrible. But I
Yeah.
quit. Like, I don't
Oh,
work
you
there
quit.
anymore. Yeah, I'm retired.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm able to do this. This is why, like, it was hard for me to do podcasts while I was working there because, like, I was getting out of bed at 2 p.m. and then going to training every day. So, like, I had, like, an hour. Like, if that hour worked for someone, we could, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very hard.
Well, how was training today?
It was good, man. It was good. Ian McCall, like, this is the first time I've seen him in a really long time. I was a little worried about him, because, like, he's been beaten up, man, a lot. Like, he's had a rough time. And the UFC, like, cut his paycheck a lot with all this Reebok stuff.
With the sponsors and all that.
Yeah, the sponsors were huge for him. And but today he was telling me he signed with Ryzen
Yeah.
in Japan. So he's stoked. Like, he looked good, which, like, really gave me a lot of hope for humanity.
Maybe you can
Maybe
get him
rolls a
some of
little
that, John Jones over there in Horizon.
Hopefully.
Horizon, rather, sorry. Get a little
Horizon's
performance
cool, too.
enhancing going on over there.
Please, man. Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm cool
How do we
with
make
that,
that
too.
happen? What can we do? You're a businessman.
How could we get him? How could we get him on some PEDs?
How do we get him to do something that I can watch? How do we
Oh,
get him
man.
an EBI? How
I
do
mean,
we-
it'd be simple.
I'll fight him at Nogi Worlds if I have to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know who to call, but there's guys out there. You could find someone with some PEDs real quick, like, I would believe.
Yeah, can you get me some?
I don't know anybody personally.
Because here's the thing, man. I also didn't tell you this, I don't think. But 2 days ago, I just signed up for Nogi Worlds in December.
Oh, really?
Right now, it is October 24th, December 16th. I think that's enough for a steroid cycle. I don't really know how it works.
I think
I
that
don't know.
I
But-
will tell you that in my younger days, I have done cycles of steroids,
Really?
and that's plenty of time for you to get some strength going on.
Is that why you're still strong today? Does it like have lasting effects like that?
I think that most definitely. Most definitely. I think that you can most certainly lose it, but I think that I mean, dude, it's been like 12 years since I've done a cycle.
Why were you doing cycles?
Dude, I was just a fucking total meathead. You know what I mean?
Playing football?
Well, playing football, and then when I started doing jiu-jitsu, and then just for aesthetics, you know what I mean? I did stuff that John Jones got caught doing. I did with a stack of upon other things, and dude, that shit's no joke. That stuff makes you fucking strong. That one substance that he was taking, and then
what's it called?
I think he was on Trinabol, is what it's called.
Okay.
If you're out there, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is.
Does this one turn you into an angry person?
I never turned into an angry person, but my balls got real small. You know, for sure. Not like, my dick, but my balls.
Like percentage-wise, like how much smaller?
Probably 15%. 15% smaller balls. It wasn't permanent.
Okay.
Came back, but thank God.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, but
welcome back.
Thank you. No, I mean if you get your hand on some PEDs, you can definitely boost up for that tournament for sure.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have my back.
You don't really look. I mean, like you would be into that though.
Well, I look like I haven't done it in the past, but hey, man, I can improve.
You can improve of that?
Yeah, man, I got room for improvement.
Well, I'm sure you've seen that documentary Icarus.
I have.
We can call that guy up. We can find that guy, I'm sure.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
But it didn't even help him, man. He did worse
He
in the tournament.
He did worse the second time, but all the other people were juiced up too, so I mean it was like he did do worse the second time, which was like kind of remarkable to me. I was like, God, I would have thought that
so
he would have gotten
disappointing.
I didn't think he was going to win it, but I was like, he's got to get, like top 5 or something, like do marked better.
All right, so I'll do steroids if you do No-Gi Worlds with me. You ready? Purple belt, let's go.
Purple belt, No-Gi
I'll meet you in the
Worlds.
absolutes. We both got a place. We both got a place, first, second, or third.
Okay.
And we can fight absolutes.
Well, I mean, I'll definitely do that if you but you'll need to procure your substances on your own.
Dude, I have 8 pounds to play with. I signed up for the 49 division. I weighed in today at 41.
Ooh.
The next one below that's 36,
good.
and I did not. I don't think I should.
You're
cut.
good.
I don't look like I have any weight to cut.
You're
that
good.
doesn't sound healthy. How do I gain weight, man? I got 8 pounds. I've never gained 8 pounds before.
I think that
never done this in my life.
I mean, at the fattest I ever was, the way that I got that fat was I used to drink a 6-pack of Bud Heavies before I went to sleep at night. And
right before?
Yeah, well, yeah, like to go to sleep. To go to sleep, I used to have to drink a lot, and I drank a 6-pack of Bud Heavies.
Was this during a steroids time?
No, during my steroid stints, I did not drink. Yeah, but I did some prescriptions and other things to keep me a little down to sane.
Yeah.
Back in my days, yeah.
You like to party?
I used to party a lot, yeah. Not so
nowadays?
much anymore.
No?
Oh, these days, well, I haven't had a drink or a drug in over 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You just get high as fuck on CBD?
No. I rarely take the CBD.
Really?
And these days, I still sell it. But, CBD is one of those things that legitimately builds up into your system, and you don't have to continuously take it.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
I
shit.
hadn't taken CBD apart from, I took it 4 days ago, a tablespoon of it, but before that it had probably been 4 months since I had taken it. But it kind of builds up into your system, and you don't, your receptors change a little bit over time, just like with any other substance.
And how small does it make your balls?
I haven't noticed any ball shrinkage from the CBD yet.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that it couldn't happen.
Please keep us updated.
I'll let you guys know for sure. And in my
Appreciate it.
disclaimers, I will tell you if there's any ball shrinkage at all.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one advice. You're a salesman, so you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't tell people that CBD, because then like they'll stop giving you money if like they know it just keeps working on you without you paying the man for it.
Yeah, I know. But
you have to lock them into a month-by-month contract.
I get it.
You should probably be charging double. You make a lot more money.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, the thing is
very aggressive marketing. Can you get a thing to where like people's phones buzz to tell them to take their CBD? That's the best.
I could build an app. Yeah, I get a CBD app going for sure.
It just buzzes every hour on the hour.
Yeah. Now, I've been involved in a long time in that, kind of real corporate America, try to squeeze every penny out of people type of thing.
You sold my father this table.
I didn't sell him this table. But he bought it from someone for sure and probably paid way more than he should have. But, not that, it's just all like a secret. Costs and everything is kept under wraps. But it's just kind of sickening, to be honest with you.
Well, on that note, I got to pause this and grab some iced tea, man. I'm dying.
Okay. We're back. Marshall's got his tea.
I have tea. Fisher wants no tea. Fisher's very skeptical about this tea.
I'm not skeptical. It just looks like water.
Yeah, man. Water's the main ingredient in tea.
Tell me about this tea.
It's mostly water.
Yeah, but isn't it like from a sacred place?
Yeah. It's from Taiwan. Taiwan's pretty sacred.
Taiwan's got some spiritual happenings over there.
Yeah, man. It's part of Mother Nature, eh? Mother Nature's pretty spiritual.
Were you going to move to Taiwan?
I used to live in Taiwan.
Yeah, but weren't you going to go back?
Yeah, that's always my plan, always my thought. Now I'm thinking I'll be there in January. On my way to, oh, you don't even know.
Tell me.
India. Yeah. A very elaborate India plans.
You've thought about this?
I've been talking to a guy in India trying to arrange something for a year.
Who's this guy?
He's a guy, his parents are from India, he's from Seattle. He lives in Bangalore, India.
Bangalore.
He has his own gym. I think it's, I don't really know the business. I don't know the proper way to say it. He teaches a lot. I don't know the dynamics. He throws on, he promotes fights.
Yeah.
He's in corners. Maybe as a doctor, I can't really tell. He's like
he's a doctor?
I don't know, maybe a corner. I've seen pictures. He's in corners.
In scrubs?
I don't want to speak. I'm speaking out of line. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just responded to a post of his on the BJJ Globetrotters forum. BJJ Globetrotters is first a book. Now it's an online community. They do big parties. They have like week-long seminars and things.
Yeah.
And anywhere you're traveling, you just put on there like, hey, I'm in Prague. I got a gi.
So it's like a traveling jiu-jitsu forum.
Yeah. It's friends everywhere you go.
Jiu-jitsu friends everywhere.
Yeah. And so he put an ad in there. Anyone interested in coming to India, purple belt preferred or something like that.
Yeah.
And I hit him up about it as a blue belt, being like, eventually I'll get a purple belt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Eventually I'll want to go to India.
Yeah.
And we just kept talking about it. And like I was really close to going. Like I thought I'd be there right now. But the gym that was like supposed to be helping me out with the visa, to get a visa to India is a little tricky. I need a letter from them.
Yeah.
And they just have to write this letter. It's like not a hard thing to do. But they just weren't giving it to me. And I learned that they hired a Muay Thai coach from Poland.
Uh-huh.
One of the first white guys they've ever done business with. And he brought a lot of meth from Thailand.
Oh, God.
And so he went on a whole huge binge. And as soon as that happened, the guy who was communicating with me, super helpful before that, he's not responding to messages. He's not sending me that letter. I think he kind of thinks that I'll do meth.
And try to sell meth out of his gym?
Yeah, so like I don't want to like...
That's
I don't want to have to explain that. Like I don't want to like write to him like, dude...
I don't see like tweakers being really into combat sports.
But you could be really into combat sports and then start tweaking.
That's true.
That's always
very
an option.
True.
Anyone listening, you always have that option.
You always have a chance. You can always become a tweaker.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. It's a very simple process.
It happens quick. It comes quick on you.
Yeah. You ever done meth?
No. I was never into like real upper type things.
No.
I've done. I had a very bad heroin problem. That's
Really?
what got me into rehab. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Probably. I mean, that was 5 years and 3 months ago. So, I've seen and done some crazy shit, but it's not most certainly not a place that I wish anyone go to.
Heroin?
Yeah.
Drug
addiction. Alabama. No, Alabama's great, but
not a good place to do drugs.
well, nowhere is a good place to become an addict of anything that is at least an addict of chemical substances.
Yeah, would you agree that addictions are guaranteed in life?
Yeah.
And all you can do is help manage them?
Yeah, I would
Manage what your addictions manifest as?
Yeah. I mean, I think that maybe not necessarily addiction is guaranteed, but obsession is guaranteed.
Habitualization?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, addiction is really when whatever your obsession is starts to harm the people that are around you.
And you know it.
Yeah.
You keep
and
doing
you keep
it.
doing it. Exactly.
So what's the most harmful part of heroin? I've
Well,
never done it. I don't know.
I mean, heroin does a lot of shit, dude. But I mean, other things that I've done, the worst thing that I've done is steal from my family, in order to support my habit. I mean, essentially the worst thing that it does is it ruins your relationships with the people that you're closest to. And that's the worst thing that it does. Other than that, there's some other things like if you do heroin, you can have sex for hours and hours, but after it wears off, you're like, you got 2 good pumps in you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? For
Yeah.
like
when you're
rest
coming
of your life, or like
No.
for like a day?
Well, I mean, until you detox completely from it.
How long does that take?
It depends how much you do. It took me like, I withdrew from heroin for probably 2 weeks. It took before I started, like, the physical symptoms in a way. And then the mental aspect of it took probably a year to get over. Like, just the thinking and whatnot that revolves around addiction. And it's still something that I manage today.
Yeah. What are your present day addictions?
Well, I can become obsessed with things easily, and it can be anything.
What's it right now?
Dude, I got real into PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds video game.
What?
Yeah, it's a
Wait, say that
computer
again?
game. It's called PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Okay.
And it's a shooter. It's like Call of Duty, but more realistic.
Okay.
And
I feel you.
it's more like there's some more strategy involved with it, but yeah, it got me good. But the video game thing, like, I'll get obsessed with it, and then like I'll go on a spree where I'll like die within 5 minutes of joining the game. Every time I play for like 4 days in a row, and then I'll be like, fuck this, and then I won't play it again for months, and then I'll come back and do it again and come back and do it again.
How old is this game?
Man, this game's fairly new. I mean, I think that it's no more than 6 to 8 months old. Yeah. But I haven't been on it probably for 2 weeks because I went through a spree where I just got fucking rage quit.
I'm happy for you, man.
Appreciate
Congrats
it.
on 2 weeks of sobriety.
Thank you.
Dude, those video games worry me, man. Like, because I
They're
went through it as a
crazy.
kid, man. As a kid, that's like all I did for 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, like I was deep in it. I knew what the release dates of everything. I knew I was in. I was sold.
Yeah.
And so I get it. Like when my friends tell me about new games, I just go, oof.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Because you
like,
know it'll get a hold of you.
I put on Oculus Rift pretty recently.
Yeah.
Have you done Oculus Rift?
And I've heard about it.
Oh my god. If you've ever been into any game, and even if you haven't, like Oculus Rift is just like, it's so amazing. It's so overwhelmingly amazing. Because every game you've played, you're looking at a screen.
It's VR, right?
With the exact same quality you'd expect, like, on whatever you're playing on now. What are you, on PS4?
I play PC.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's like a super nice screen and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that in 3D. When
That's
you turn
crazy. And
when you move and your heart rate is going. Like, I read something recently, man. I think this will make sense to you if you don't probably know this. When they make video games now, they strap heart rate monitors to everyone who tests them. And there's a threshold that if it doesn't raise your heart rate, like measurably,
Yeah.
they literally just, the game's not progressing.
Yeah.
Stop, fix it, make it. You have to raise
That's
heart rate to
crazy.
get, like, into production.
Well, I know that
And
there's
doesn't that make so much sense? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Every game is like, that's why they're addicting.
Not only
a
that,
real
I
thing.
mean, it's like with a lot of video games, you can tell like that you're getting dopamine hits as you're playing it with these little small rewards. It's just like looking at a text on your phone.
Yep.
Like when your phone buzzes, and in these games, it's a little thing on the boom, 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 and they'll happen like one after the other, like boom, 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 and then you're like, shit, I got to do that again.
Strategically, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's
Yeah.
all in
That's
there.
why I had to get out, man. Like, I started learning
Yeah.
about, like, the psychology behind it, the marketing of video games, like, how they hook you. And they're just so good, man. Like,
Oh, it's
same
awesome.
thing, like, why Netflix, like, worries me. Like, I'm always, like, if I'm going to Netflix, I get, like, a little overwhelmed. I'm like, all right, it's going to be a while.
Yeah,
Because I just know,
You
like,
know.
as soon as you look at it, it's like, no way, there's that?
yeah.
They're just so good about that. And video games, like, they've honed that market so well
And it's crazy how
that I'm as scared of video games as heroin. I'll tell you that.
Jeez.
In
Well,
my mind, they're very similar.
You know, well, it is. It can be similar. I mean, what it is it's all a form of escapism.
Yes. Extreme
escapism. But everywhere you go and everything that you look at, it's kind of crazy. Because, like, in the business world and like, the sales world that I'm in, essentially everything is based off of you're not good enough. And you need this to feel better.
Yeah.
And it's especially like that in high-end products. It's like you will feel better about yourself once you have this thing.
Oh my
but
God.
the trick is that never works.
Dude, I've seen that every day at Sharky's for the past 6 months.
People
People go in there like, hey, as soon as I get drunk, man, I'm telling you,
yeah,
it's gonna start, man. That's when life really begins.
Yeah.
Dude, I just gotta get a table next weekend, and oof, I'm gonna get that girl, and that's when it's...
it never fucking ends. Because it's just escapism. But it's kind of, I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like there's literally two different worlds. There's the outside world, and then there's your own internal world. And your internal world gets all muddled and manipulated by what's going on outside of you and what people tell you and what you see and what society says is right. And I've had to do a shitload of work to figure out, like, what's right for me. Like, what's my right? What feels good to me? And I go all the way back to thinking, like, when I'm a kid. You know, like, what did I like when I was little? That's not been, you know, back then when I wasn't manipulated or hadn't been influenced as much by society. Because today, like I was telling you before, like, you look at it, it's like the money thing. It's like, well, this money. But, like, before all that shit, what was it that I liked?
Yeah, what would you do if money was no object in your life?
Dude, if money was no object in my life and I could do anything I want, I would 100% do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's the conclusion I came to, man.
Yeah,
I've thought about this for years.
There's nothing that's even close
Yeah.
to me. And I've thought about that a lot.
And you know what I think gets people in the door to jiu-jitsu?
What's that?
Escapism.
Oh, it's the same thing, dude. After you have, first of all, when you do jiu-jitsu and you're rolling with someone, you're nowhere but there.
Mm-hmm.
And your mind is only on that one thing. Because if your mind ever wanders while you're doing it, you're going to get beat really quickly.
Yep.
And then after you do it, the workout that you get, I mean, I've had times where I'll just lay down on the mat and I'm afraid to drive. That I have like that runner's high going, and I'm just like, Jesus, I'm gonna need to wait 30 minutes. But it happened.
You know a good name for this?
What's that?
Flow state.
Flow state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A flow state is those times in life where everything comes easy, and time is a little bit irrelevant, and you learn a lot. Like, you learn so much rolling with someone if you're really into it, if you're really paying attention.
Oh, if you're there.
It's divine knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, people can talk to you about jiu-jitsu all the time. But this is what worries me when I hear people talking about, like, watching YouTube videos, listening to jiu-jitsu podcasts.
Yeah.
It's like, if you just learn more if you just paid attention when you rolled.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's easy when you're rolling to just be like, oh, shit, they're watching me. Ah, shit,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassing myself. Ah, shit, if I don't get this, then it's all a waste. Or, like, even worse, man, being like, man, that girl at office, she kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I've had those thoughts rolling. I've done this. I know exactly how it goes. I know how to do it wrong, and I felt it when it goes right.
Yeah.
And it's a world of difference.
Oh, it's huge.
But this is a flow state, and flow state's what the brain does according to an fMRI, where they have an image of the brain in real time. Is this decreased activity in the prefrontal cortex,
right?
The most advanced part of the brain. The reason we can like run businesses and like organize our lives and like have civilizations.
Yeah.
Prefrontal cortex allows you to look into the future to plan and look into the past to like learn from.
Yeah.
So you can be like, okay, that didn't work out that time. This time, I'm going to, and then, test your theory, see what happens.
Yeah.
But what happens is the prefrontal cortex can get out of control. And most people operate in this realm. I've spent, 98% of my life, get completely out of control in this realm, where it's like, it's just going straight to the future, and that's anxiety, and that's worrisome. And you're not paying attention when you have anxiety. If you're on the mat with huge anxiety, you're not listening to the technique.
Yeah.
You're worried about something else. You're not paying attention when you're rolling. You're worried about something else. You're not learning that much.
Right.
But one good thing is that one trigger for into a flow state is just sweating.
Really?
That's one way to increase the odds of this flow state happening. And that's why every jiu-jitsu class in the world, you do a warm-up together. Community is also a way to get into a flow state. It's an easy one to do it. When your friends are around, it's easier. And if you start sweating and then you hit them with like a crazy-ass technique, they're accepting of it. But I've seen it a bunch of times where we all warm up and we're kind of going over something nuanced or like a new position or like hey guys, what do you think about this type of move? And someone comes fresh off the mat, or onto the mat, without warming up. They still have the full-on beta range frequency of like office work, especially, or just outside life in general. And they come onto the mat with that, and they look at this move and go, nah, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't, some variation on that. Nah, that move doesn't work. And it's like, motherfucker, we're just like trying, I don't know. Just like, it's just a move. Like, we're not saying this is the move. We're not saying this move would beat you.
Yeah.
But people tend to bring that, and that's the ego. That rests in the same part of the brain, that your sense of self. Ego just being like your sense of self. I am this. I am that. I like this. I don't like that. I do this. I don't like that. I don't do this.
Yeah.
Anything how you think of yourself resides in that same area. So in these flow states, when you're rolling, when you have no ego, that is when life is the most enjoyable. That's when people find God. That's when you learn the most. That's when you progress as a human the most.
Right.
And jiu-jitsu unlocks that for basically everyone. Like anyone who does jiu-jitsu has felt this. Just it's easier than others to fall into.
Well, I think that most certainly everyone has felt that.
It's what keeps
I think that,
back.
Yeah, I think that
it's the main selling point.
If you spend any length of time in the gym rolling, you're going to feel that state.
Definitely.
I understand that. That's definitely part of it for me, is why I love it. The other thing that I love about it is that it's never ending.
I don't know, man. I was kind of thinking I learned everything already.
Yeah.
You're telling me...
Well, really, it's just like there's always improvement, and there's always levels onto which you can build your control. you know, and or your transition, or you know what I mean. Like there's always a little faster way, a little cleaner way, a little this, a little that, and then not only that is once you learn that, once you clean up a move, the most you can clean it up. There's millions of other moves that you're not clean at.
Yeah, how good's your jiu-jitsu's really good? How about your judo?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah.
It's
Well, not only that,
concepts, but
I'm talking
different.
just in the jiu-jitsu realm too.
True.
I mean, like I can have my side control can be fire. But once if I mount you and I got nothing, you know what I mean? It's like, well, shit, you know what I mean?
And like one of the best and worst things about it is once you start focusing on something else, all the other areas kind of stagnate and maybe decrease.
Yeah.
So to get all of them down pat, this is why it takes
years.
Yeah, 15, 20, 25, maybe 50 years. Continual practice.
Yeah, to be a real deal savage.
Yeah, a monster in every position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Sounds nice. You want to do that? I think we could do it.
I think we could too. I just got to keep our bodies together and it'll all be good. You
keep
know
bathing in CBD oil.
Yeah.
Keep lathering on each other's balls.
Yeah.
I think we could do it, man.
I prefer the chocolate on the balls for sure.
Yeah.
Of any of the flavors, yeah.
Tastes the best.
It does. It does taste the best.
All right, so you want to talk about something else, or
well, yeah.
what are you into?
Whatever.
What's your favorite thing in the world?
My favorite thing in the world? Dude, I really like peace of mind. That's what I like. Like real deal, like connectedness to God and peace of mind is my favorite thing in the entire world. So I mean, like I can. There's a few times where I can point out where I know exactly where I will feel that feeling, and that's really what I want. You know what I mean?
How can we get more of that feeling in your life? What do we gotta do?
Well, I mean, in my life, I mean, it's just about doing the right things.
What's that?
Well, I mean, treating people the way they should be treated. Trying not to harm others.
I need specifics, Fisher. What are we gonna do today?
What are we gonna do
tomorrow?
today? Well, I mean,
or is this something you have down so pat that like?
No, I don't have it down
there
pat.
Unless
I know a certain
rude.
instance when I get it, and there's like maintenance that's involved to be able to feel that feeling when the opportunity is there to feel it.
What kind of maintenance you do?
I do a lot of gratitude work. I do a lot of, you know what? I really try my best, and this is the hardest part for me, but I really try my best to help other people without having personal gain in mind.
For example, can I tell them what you told to Michael John as soon as you saw him?
Sure.
Michael John was at my house. We were playing chess earlier, and then he saw Fisher outside. Michael John works at Chili's. He's on his way there. And Fisher immediately is like, oh, yeah, you want a job at Masters? I know you know someone.
Yeah.
You can just immediately like up his pay.
Yeah. Like it.
Yeah. It's good, man. It was very egoless, it looked like.
Well.
Unless you have ulterior motives.
I have no ulterior motives. But I was just playing with him. But
okay.
He
you give false hope.
That was false hope. That wasn't very nice. I don't know anybody at Masters, but it is a great place to eat if you enjoy a nice steak. I was talking to a buddy of mine who ate there the other day, and he went on this kick. Like, he got really into Wagyu beef.
I don't know what that is.
It's a certain type of cow that's a Wagyu cow, I think. And he had told me some, like, crazy documentary about it. There's something about these cows where they produce more marbling, or they have a much higher fat content in their meat. So I guess Mastros has a good Wagyu cut.
I hope Michael John works there.
Yeah, he could bring you home a Wagyu. Anyways, it was like, this Wagyu beef is crazy expensive. And there's like, you get like an 8-ounce piece of it for like $240.
Oh, wow.
Like stupid expensive piece of meat. And he was telling me like he had it there, and he says it's the best experience I've ever had. And I cut it, and it's like butter in my mouth. I'm like, well, I understand that could be very nice, but I'm not going to pay that much money for a steak.
It's 2 months of jiu-jitsu.
That's 2 months of jiu-jitsu. That is 2 months of jiu-jitsu.
That was my rent for a month in Taipei.
$240?
Yeah. Like a nice place.
It's crazy. Yeah, but if you got some extra funds, you can go over to Mastro's. It's a nice, it's a good restaurant. It's a nice place to go to escape. Escapism.
Should I ask you these other questions? What do you think?
Sure.
Someone I've never asked anybody.
Okay.
I've always wanted to know.
Yeah.
Is your sex so good that you shouldn't have to fuck for free?
It depends. I think
If you hit
like
that level.
on my mood. For sure.
Depends on, a good way to have a flow state?
How's that?
Great sex.
I could see that, yeah.
Like, if you're having sex and you know how long you've been having sex, like, that's not very good sex.
If you have sex,
If you know exactly what time it is.
Dude, if you have sex and you try to breathe with your partner in synchronicity, it'll put you in a flow state like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool one to do. Try that. All the 90 million people in Australia, try that.
All of Finland's listening,
Yeah.
so.
No, it depends. It depends. I think that maybe sometimes, but rarely.
Okay. Congrats. I'm proud of you for even getting it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Rarely.
for you that you've had sex, actually.
I appreciate that
I really,
too.
I'm proud.
You know what I mean? Growing up, it was like a really big deal.
Right? Seemed like it would never happen, huh?
And then, it seemed like it would never happen. And now...
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
It's all good, you know what I mean? I made it.
And now you have inner peace down pat. That's crazy.
I got inner peace down pat.
Ever since.
I got sex. All the things.
Wow, man. I started this podcast saying that I was perfect, but I'm starting to think
that it's
that
me.
You might be perfect.
I'm glad that I didn't have to tell you.
Yeah,
you
just
figured it
showed
out
me.
on your own.
I'm the one over here talking shit and not doing anything. And look at you. All right, last question.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Tell me.
Is it still true that in this life, bad bitches are the only thing you like?
No. That's
Not
not
anymore?
true. No. Bad bitches are problems. And bad bitches will fuck you up.
You're really speaking out of turn here, man.
I'm sorry.
This is some outrageous. Tales of McCock podcast does not support the views of its guests.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, what you want is you want a good woman that's loyal and is just a good person. No bad bitches. When you're single, go for all the bad bitches you want.
Yeah, speaking of which, man, it's Taco Tuesday at Sharky's.
Yeah.
No, you won't. Bring us some bad bitches.
You won't find me down at Taco Tuesdays at Sharky's anymore.
Have you partied there before?
Never.
Okay. Yeah, because the first time I ever went there was when I applied for a job. Like, I still never really been drunk there. I've had, like, a beer after work a bunch of times, but, I don't know what it's like. I was kind of thinking I should, but now I don't want to at all.
Have a beer there?
I was thinking it'd be, like, therapeutic to get drunk there because I hate it so much, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, just do something I actually like.
Yeah. I'm a proponent of what you just said.
Do you think we can hang out sometime? Do you want to be actual friends or
Absolutely.
just like
we can absolutely do that.
Social media friends?
We can hang out. Absolutely.
Yeah?
I'd appreciate that.
You want to go skydiving?
No. I'm not going to do that. But if we keep our feet on the ground, for sure.
What you want to do acro yoga?
Is that where they like wrap you up in a sheet? Isn't it? And you like kind of hang and stretch?
No.
I could be down with something like that. I don't want to jump out of a plane though.
I don't. I mean, I don't know about this wrapping people up in sheet business, but if you're into it,
Sure.
I just want to be your friend, man. I'm just looking for friends.
I am your friend.
It's the only reason I do this podcast.
You have plenty of friends, Marshall. Okay.
I have 2 million in Australia.
Thought it was 90.
2 of them are my real friends. You got any questions for me, man? We done? What do you think? How you
Shoot,
feeling?
I mean, not unless you got something that's really pressing that you want to talk about.
Man. I'm a man who never stops talking, so yeah, I got nothing. I love you.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys out there. Thanks for listening.
Oh, can people buy CBD from you, or?
People can buy CBD from me. You just send me a message on Facebook, Fisher Harwell, or if you're at the 10th Planet, you can find me in the 10th Planet Monstersquad forum. And all you got to do is message me, and I'll hook you up.
Bing, bang, boom. I've had it. I love it. Fisher, I love you. Let's do it. Let's party. Let's do some jiu-jitsu.